Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. And as usual, on our board, to start with, we have our subject from our last video. And we'll go through a slight review because some of the information and model will be used in our video for today. So this is what we talked about in our last video. Amazing truth. First, the universe is pure consciousness. The universe is conscious. And so this is a little dots on here, little bullets of what we talked about. And the first thing was to recognize that consciousness is fundamental, hidden in plain sight. Well, it's not hidden so much. Actually, this was quite common before Darwinian, the break in Darwinian between, well, science can study the things we can touch and feel and smell, but as soon as science steps over the line and gets into anything beyond that, in the spiritual or the unseen realm, bad things could happen. You could get your legs cut off. Well, they wouldn't cut your legs off. They'd just burn you at the stake. Either way, the consequences were pretty strong. So our classic view of the world was developed out of that kind of a thought process. And so we used our senses, what we can see, what we can feel, what we can touch, what we smell and taste, those kind of things. And so we got the idea of thinking that our senses tell us things. Our senses tell us. Oh, my eyes tell me this, my nose tells me that, my touch tells me soft and hard. Smell, my nose is telling me. No, none of your senses tell you anything. And like the last video I pointed out, I showed the senses as little blocks. And I said, there's no lips on those little blocks. So I'll reference that video, and you might find it interesting as we go on and looking at first, the next thing we looked at is every moment a new universe arises. A new universe arises in every moment, because every moment there is a change. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates one way or another. So that's what we wanted to make clear. A new universe arises in each moment. What does it arise out of? The last moment. So it's a constant changing, constant movement. Everything is different. No movement is the same for us individually or for the total universe. It's all changing. We think, oh no, it's not changing. But when you begin to realize, when you begin to look closely, you'll see that everything changes. Everything. And it never goes back to where it was. So the past isn't that important. Now, consciousness through this process, this pure consciousness, this field, this infinite field of everything, is becoming aware of itself through this interplay between us. Oh, and our mind down here, the last thing we talked about, mind and body entangled. That's the mind-body connection. It's entangled into one system. Now, we'll talk more about that in our next adventure, starting now. And this is our subject for today: the truth about consciousness. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Why? It's fundamental. So we're going to go over a few things pretty quickly because we have talked about them in other videos. And hopefully I've laid out enough information that they are going to make sense to you. So the first thing we have to, I want to bring to your attention is this interconnection between mind-body. Mind-body connection. It's one system. It's an entangled system. These here. You see the body, you don't see the mind. You don't see the mind because it's in a quantum state. And that quantum state is attached or is an extension of the infinite field of everything, which is part of consciousness. Now, over here, we have, coming from the body, which we can see, we have our classic state or our classic world. And it's the egoic world. Now, in this process here, in this one system, we have information from the senses that come here, and it gets analyzed by the mind. That's why they're interconnected in such a way that the information coming from through the senses goes to the body and to the mind instantly. They're entangled. And it is the mind that has the facilities for interpreting the information, making an interpretation of it, which will be in which will be in quantum information. Classic information is in classic symbols and words and that kind of stuff. Quantum information is probability and probability waves. So these are, the information is handled differently between the two of them. Now over here, this classic system was developed by a lot of very smart people that did not have any idea about the quantum world. And even when we found out about it, we said, well, the quantum world, very small, doesn't affect the classic world in any way. This is too gross. This is too dynamic. You're not going to get those quantum effects in this part of you. Well, that was over 100 years ago. And today, I mentioned before, because I thought it was kind of cute to say this way, so I'll say it again. You can't break wind without running into quantum effects. Every cell phone you pick up, every television you watch, every computer you operate, every modern camera that you use, every car, every touch screen that you touch to order your food at one of those fast food places where you can order when you go in, it's all quantum. It's all quantum effects. Anything that has a diode, a triode, a microprocessor, all work on quantum. Quantum runs the classic world. But we haven't changed the classic world to reflect that. We're thinking, well, it's working pretty good the way it is. We don't have to change. We'll just use it and forget that it's a whole a process. It's a whole cosmology of how it works. We'll believe this is still holds true. And it does. Because this is a special case inside quantum mechanics. Now, why am I going through all of this? Part of our problem is our language. See, and over here, we talk about being aware. Like as humans, we are aware, and therefore we are conscious. And somehow we got the idea that conscious and consciousness with a big C is the same thing. So we say, well, has a dog got consciousness? Has a rock got consciousness? Wrong question, because we're using an outdated language that doesn't reflect quantum world and beyond. This isn't the end. There's more behind that, because there's more behind consciousness with a big C. So that is going on inside of us, and this interconnection, the body is down here, if you look, body, and I should have put mind. Body, mind is the division point between classic and physical. Classic and quantum is what I meant to say. So, consciousness is everywhere. Now, what does A Course in Miracles say in regard to this? So let us take a look and see. And we will be talking about the lesson 16. I usually don't necessarily talk about the lessons, but sometimes they come up. And what is that lesson? I have no neutral thoughts. I have no neutral thoughts. So here's what it says. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. Everything you see is the result of your thoughts. There is no exception to this fact, because it is what you're thinking that determines your world. And it's the same thing over here. What you're thinking in the mind, because it is the mind that interprets this classical world through your past experiences and beliefs and values and moral judgments and everything that you have learned that is part of you. You make it part of the filtering system through which you take this information through your senses. And then from that, you think your world into being. So it is the mind, the quantum mind, that determines your world. What can I tell you? It's not this part. It's this part. And then you'll rationalize that it's this that did it. And we had other videos that indicated, through information that we had through Google search and AI, that indicated up to 95% of every decision you make is done by this part of you. before, way before this part knows about it. Now, in this connection, one system, the mind is the learner, and the body is the learning instrument. Over here, it's learning from the quantum world. From the egoic world. So the classic state is the egoic world. And the egoic world is the environment in which this learning device operates and brings back information into the one system through which the mind creates the world. And from that, this information, because this is a learner, the mind is a learner, the information in a quantum state is uploaded into the infinite field of everything. Infinite field of everything, which is consciousness. So we got a lot going on here, and we are hopefully beginning to change the classic state into recognizing. See, over here right now, the development of this, no quantum, no idea of what the quantum state is or how it affects underneath everything that you're doing in your quantum or egoic world. Oh, how interesting is that to even think about. Now, I think we've covered just about everything that I wanted to cover. But usually I always think about something later. So maybe we'll add to this next time. So another thing, information, quantum information in the quantum state cannot be copied, that's another term, or cloned into classic symbols. It has to be, you have to go through a translation. You have to get a translator to go from quantum. And also in quantum is where your feelings and qualia and meaning of your world, the world that you have created, your meaning comes from the quantum information. And you can't clone that into classical. So this part of you in the egoic world is not going to be involved in knowing the meaning of the experience that the learning device is going through. Interesting fact. Give that some thought. On all of these that I do, I think I could have done a better job, but and there might be some questions. If so, let me know, and I'll see if I can give you some insight or some ideas. Now, before we go, we're having a little Zen tea, because sometimes I get a little excited and my hands go, but my mind always doesn't go. So there might be more that we'll add to this model the next time we get together right here in the illusion. Bye now.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente con una pasión tan fuerte.